Hi everyone, we're running 10 minutes late.
לצלם אותי, אחר כך תשלח תמונות אחר כך. בבקשה.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, and thank you for joining us today. This statement marks 100 days of President Trump administration and highlights the urgent need to secure the release of the 59 hostages still held in Gaza. You will now hear testimonies from 4 recently released hostages of Hamas captivity. Each survivor will be joined on stage by a family member of a hostage still held in captivity, standing beside them as a symbol of unity and the ongoing fight to bring everyone home. We will begin with Kit Siegel, joined by Amos Horn and Yair Horn, the brothers of Eitan Horn. Next will be Naama Levi, accompanied by Varda Ben Baruch, the grandmother of Idan Alexander. Next will be Omer Shem Tov, joined by Ayelet Samerano, the mother of Yonatan Samerano. Lately, Doron, standing with Roy Baruch, the brother of Oriel Baruch. Doron will also say a few words in Hebrew.
Hello. I am Keith Siegel. I was held hostage by Hamas for 484 days before my release on the 1st of February 2025. I'm 65 years old. I was born in California and raised in North Carolina. I'm a husband, a father of 4, and a grandfather of 5. I was released just weeks into President Trump's term, along with 37 other hostages. Our freedom represented a breakthrough after more than a year of deadlocked negotiations, a breakthrough that many had thought impossible. My family and I are eternally thankful to President Trump for prioritizing the hostage crisis since day one of his presidency and bringing me and so many others home. As we approach the 100th day of President Trump's administration, as well as Israel's Memorial and Independence Day, I reflect on what true freedom means. My home, Kfar Aza, was a peaceful kibbutz where Aviva and I built our life and raised our family for 41 years. It was a close-knit community filled with warmth and belonging. But on October the 7th, our world was shattered. 64 friends of ours, neighbors of ours, members of our community were murdered, and 19 were brutally kidnapped, including my wife Aviva and myself. I know many who remain in captivity, some from our life in Kfar Aza before October the 7th, and others I met during my time in Gaza. Gali and Ziv Berman have been part of our lives since they were little boys. They grew up on the kibbutz, surrounded by love, filled with dreams and passions, especially a deep love for soccer and music. I think constantly of Matan Angrist. Matan and I spent weeks together in captivity before we were separated. Matan, who was just 21 when he was captured, is severely wounded. Since my return, I've formed a bond with his loved ones who are still waiting and praying for his safe return. I was also held with Omri Miran for months. In captivity, I came to know a man of immense strength and an unbreakable spirit. Omri is a devoted father with 2 young daughters waiting for him at home. Just days ago, Hamas released a video showing Omri marking his 48th birthday in a Gaza tunnel, his 2nd birthday in captivity. They, along with 55 other hostages, have been held in captivity for 18 agonizing months, over 570 days, ripped away from their families, their dreams, and their lives. Every second of every day, I'm reminded that we cannot truly be free while our people remain in captivity. True independence will only exist when every one of our people is free. Families of hostages still in captivity cannot fully participate in Israel's days of remembrance and celebration. How can they celebrate independence when their loved ones remain in chains? How can they honor the fallen when they don't even have graves to visit? While I stand here today, I carry the heavy burden of knowing what those still in captivity endure every single day. I survived horrors I could never have imagined: starvation, dehydration, relentless humiliation. I witnessed sexual assault. Trapped 130 feet underground in suffocating tunnels, I saw acts of medieval torture that still haunt me. These echoes of suffering have never left me. And for those still held captive, they are not echoes, they are reality. The breakthrough came immediately after President Trump was elected. Negotiations resumed within days, and the deal that brought me home was signed. When I was finally released, I was physically broken, but had fulfilled my promise to Aviva to survive. Thanks to President Trump's decisive action, I was reunited with my family. Weeks after my release, I met President Trump in person, and I saw his deep commitment to bringing all remaining hostages home. As we approach the 77th anniversary of Israel's independence this week, it is well to remember that the United States has been Israel's closest friend and ally, literally since the day the country was founded. It was an American president who was the first world leader to recognize our new state. And now, once again, it is an American president who has prioritized the freedom of the many Israelis who remain in bondage and held in conditions of unspeakable cruelty. As his administration approaches its 100th day, I urge the president to continue his commitment, apply pressure, restart negotiations immediately, and secure a deal now, before it's too late. The remaining 59 hostages deserve the same chance I had, a chance to heal, to reconnect, to live. And for those who were murdered, their families cannot begin to heal without the dignity of a proper burial. For Israel to truly celebrate its independence, every one of its citizens must be free. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Yair Orn. I was kidnapped from Kibbutz Niroz with my brother Eitan, our brother Eitan, who's still in Gaza. And all I got to say is that our family deserves to be complete again.
Good evening. My name is Naama Levi. While the world turned a page with the inauguration of President Donald Trump, I remained buried deep underground, trapped in Hamas tunnels. I was released after 477 days, where every moment stretched into eternity. Days filled with violence, darkness, fear, and heartbreaking longing for my beloved family. I was brutally taken hostage from Nahal Oz base on that horrific morning of October 7th. I stood helpless, my heart shattering, as 15 of my dear friends, young, beautiful, full of life, were brutally murdered before my very eyes. Their faces, their laughter, their dreams, they are carved into my heart forever. And then it was my turn, dragged violently as the entire world watched, thrown into the back of a terrorist jeep, treated not as a human being, but as a trophy. During every one of those 477 days in captivity, I clung desperately to a single hope: to see my family again, to breathe fresh air again, to simply live. Several weeks after my return home, on March 6th, I had the honor of meeting President Trump at the White House. He welcomed me with genuine warmth as he made me a promise that he would not rest until every last hostage is free. Mr. President, you achieved what many thought was impossible. You led the deal that brought 38 hostages, including me, home. We, the survivors, know you are a decisive and irreplaceable force. Saving lives, there is no greater achievement. But the work is not yet done. There are still 59 souls trapped in brutal captivity. There are 59 families who wake each morning aching for some good news that will make their world whole again. Mr. President, I stand before you not only with gratitude, but with a plea from the depths of my heart. Please, keep fighting for them. Use every ounce of strength, every tool you have to bring them home. Even now, my soul remains divided, half here, half still imprisoned with those we left behind. True freedom will only be real when every last hostage is free. These days of Memorial Day and Independence Day weigh heavily on all of us. On Memorial Day, remember those we lost, and I remember the laughter, the lives of my friends, their dreams that were cruelly taken before they ever had a chance to bloom. And Independence Day, how can we celebrate freedom when their freedom has been ripped away? How can we sing songs of liberty when 59 of our brothers and sisters remain imprisoned, starved, and wounded? Our freedom is tied to theirs. Our independence will never be truly complete until they are all home. In Israel, we all know this truth. Bringing the hostages home is not just a goal, it is our shared heartache. It is our sacred promise we owe to them and to ourselves. Mr. President, please help bring them home. Bring them all home. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Varda Ben Baruch. I am the grandmother of Idan Alexander. He is an American citizen who came to Israel to be a soldier. President Trump and Mr. Witkoff, do you remember what you said to us? Bring Idan home, please. Please bring Idan home and all the hostages in Gaza. Please do it. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. My name is Omer Shem Tov. I'm 22 years old and I'm a survivor of Hamas captivity. On October 7th, 2023, I was kidnapped from the Novo Festival and taken into Gaza. I spent 505 days in captivity. 505 days without freedom, without sunlight, with very little food and water, and without basic human dignity. I know what it feels like to be cut off from the world. I know what it means to live every moment with fear, isolation, and uncertainty. And I know how important it is, how urgent it is to bring the hostages who are still there back home. A few days after I was released, I had the honor of meeting President Trump in his office. I told him then, and I believe it with all my heart, he was sent by God to help save us. Because of his leadership, because he made the hostages a real priority, I was able to come home to my family. For that, my family and I will always be grateful. But our fight isn't over. Today, there are still 59 hostages in Gaza, some fighting to survive and others who are brutally murdered but have not yet been returned. Their families are living every single day with unbearable pain caught between hope and heartbreak. This year, we approach Israel's Memorial Day and Independence Day, and we mark 100 days of President Trump's new administration. We are reminded what true freedom really means. Freedom is precious. For those who have come home and for those who are still waiting to be saved. Freedom means bringing every hostage back home. Independence means no one gets left behind. And remembrance means fighting for the living and honoring the dignity for those we have lost. President Trump, you brought so many of us home once. Now we're asking you to do it again. Use every tool, push with everything you have. Bring the rest back. Every day matters, every life matters. Even for those of us who made it home, healing can never complete while others are still left behind. A part of us remains there, with them. We won't feel truly free until the hostages is back home. Let's make sure the next 100 days are not just a milestone, but the days we bring them home and bring hope back to all of us. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Ayelet, mother of Yonatan Samarano, who was shot and kidnapped from the Nova Festival. Shelly, Omer's mother, got her son back. President Trump, I also want to get my son back. Everyone deserves to come home. Please help us all to bring our dearest home. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Doron Steinbrecher. About 100 days ago, President Donald Trump resumed office. One day before that, on January 19th, I was released. And it is no coincidence. It was clear that the release of myself and my fellow hostages happened thanks to the election of President Trump, thanks to his immense efforts and the efforts of his team to bring us home. I was released after 471 days of brutal captivity by Hamas, 471 days of darkness. Most of the time was spent underground, trapped in the dark, suffocating tunnels, with no daylight, no sense of time, no assurance I would survive another day. On the morning of Saturday, October 7th, I was violently taken hostage from my hiding place under my bed at my home, the place where I thought I would be safe. From there, I was torn away and thrown into a reality I never thought any human could survive. A few weeks after returning home, on March 6th, I met President Trump at the White House with a few of my fellow released hostages. That meeting is engraved into my heart forever. He didn't just shake our hands, he embraced us warmly, and he made a promise to us that he would fight until every hostage comes home. I stand here today grateful for every breath of freedom I have been given. But along with gratitude, my heart is heavy because 59 hostages remain in captivity. 59 families trapped in endless cycle of hope and despair. These days are extremely hard. On Memorial Day, we bow our heads in honor of our fallen heroes. And I bow my head for dear friends I've lost who were torn from us too soon, and whose absence will forever leave a hole in our hearts. And Independence Day? How can we truly celebrate independence when 59 of our brothers and sisters are still held captive? Mr. President, I stand here today not only to thank you, but to ask you, please don't stop. Continue to fight for them just as you fought for me. Continue to be their voice just as you gave me mine. 59 hostages are still waiting. 59 families are holding their breaths every single day. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to bring them home. Please keep doing what others could not. You brought us back to life. Now we need you to bring them back too. Thank you. שלום. שוחררתי משבי החמאס יום לפני ההשבעה של הנשיא טראמפ, וזה לא היה מקרי. אנחנו עומדים כאן היום בפנייה לנשיא טראמפ שהביא להסכם שהביא לשחרור שלנו. אנחנו פונים אליו בבקשה שימשיך לעשות את כל המאמצים כדי להביא להישג הגדול ביותר שקיים בימים אלו, שחרור של כל החטופים. אבל באותה הזדמנות אני רוצה להזכיר, האחריות להשבת כלל החטופים היא על המדינה שלי ועל הממשלה שלי. זו החובה שמוטלת עליהם. הדיווחים בשם גורמים בכירים כאלו ואחרים מדאיגים אותנו מאוד. אין לחטופים ולחטופות זמן. הם בסכנה ברורה ומיידית, החיים בסכנת חיים והחללים בסכנת היעלמות. הממשלה חייבת להציג תוכנית ברורה ולהסביר מה היא מוכנה לעשות על מנת להשיב את 59 החטופים הביתה עכשיו. תודה.
My name is Roy Baruch. My brother Uriel Baruch is kidnapped from the Nova Festival. We don't know if he is alive. President Trump, please do all you can to bring my brother Uriel home. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.